the United Kingdom, Canada.
Damn. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rahab Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth, who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Matazah Lacham, which means unleavened bread or pillar of bread in the Lashawan Kodash, ancient Hebrew language of the Israelites. I don't know, I saw this video last night on Elder Malcolm's channel, and I thought I'd try to land back a little bit of information off of what he says and add some biblical scriptures concerning what these devils are doing right now. This is amazing. This is very, very exciting. This is a very exciting time to be alive on the face of the earth. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has sent forth his only begotten son, his archangel Michael, to receive the elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, out of the hand of those individual oppressors that are stronger than us, who are Edomites, to whom pertaineth the wrath, the indignation, the hatred of the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, said that he's going to destroy these devils for all eternity. Okay. So they're at the end of their shit. They know it. They feel it. They're waking up with nightmares. I was watching a video on the Hopeful Elect video channel, Hopeful Elect 4. Either that, I think it was Arrows of Indignation. Another Edomite got on there talking about he was having specific types of dreams, and they all pertain to the end of Esau's rulership. It just gets worse and worse. So, as it is written in the biblical prophecy of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28. I'll just go get that one, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Joel, let's see, chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And this is what's going on in the earth. These Edomites are having dreams. The servants and handmaids of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, the elect, also the wicked 2/3, are having dreams about the end of Esau's rulership and their coming destruction for unbelief and being for their incredulity. Let's just put it that way, which is their staunch, stiff-necked, ideological Christian belief system that everyone can be saved, which is unbelief in what the biblical scriptures actually say concerning the salvation of his people. So, without further ado, well, yeah, that's right. Let me get that one. Oh, yeah, that's I almost forgot. Let's get it. Fair use. Yeah, where is it at? Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to make one. Put one up then. Oh, there it is. Salakia. I want to read this first. Fair use is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay?
So, the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia just announced coordinated sanctions against the United States for the first time in history. You heard that right. America's closest allies, The nations that have stood with us through 2 world wars, through the Cold War, through every global crisis for nearly a century, have imposed economic penalties on the country they once considered their indispensable partner. And the target is unmistakably clear: Donald Trump and his inner circle. The sanctions freeze assets, ban travel, and restrict financial transactions for Trump, 17 members of his administration, and over 40 American companies connected to his business empire. The announcement came simultaneously from Brussels, London, Ottawa, and Canberra at precisely 6 a.m. Eastern Time. A coordinated strike designed to maximize impact before American markets opened. But guess what? This isn't about trade disputes or tariff disagreements. According to the joint statement released by all 4 governments, these sanctions are being imposed in response to documented corruption, constitutional violations, and the systematic undermining of democratic institutions that threatens the stability of the Western Alliance. It's honestly hard to believe we've reached this point. This isn't just about strained diplomatic relationships or policy disagreements. We're talking about America's oldest allies treating the American president like they would treat a dictator from a hostile nation.
Okay, so basically what they just said is they fell into a biblical prophecy, okay, concerning Obadiah. Okay, let's go read that right quick. Because I ain't got much time, so I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can. Obadiah chapter 1, right? Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and we all know that the mascot for American military hegemony and white privilege, white supremacy is the eagle, right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would not they have stolen till they've had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Meaning that Esau Edom is, he's a thief and a robber, like it says also in John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not before to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So the thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and to destroy. That's his purpose. Okay? That's all these devils know how to do, is rape, murder, and pillage. They don't know how to do anything else. Okay? Going to, back to Obadiah, right? Verse 7. NLT. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. NLT. All your allies will turn against you and will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Okay? At that time, not a single wise person will be left in the whole land of Edom, says the Lord. For on the mountains of Edom will I destroy everyone who has understanding. Okay? Now, they're tripping about Pete Hegseth, handpicked by Donald Trump, saying he's the Secretary of War. Okay? They charging him with fault in genocidal crimes against humanity by exterminating or giving out the orders of exterminating boat fishermen. Guys that are on a boat fishing for their families, blowing them out of the water. Okay? And then they're in the middle of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean now. Okay? Hanging on to a piece of the boat, and then they send another missile directed by Pete Hegseth, sanctioned by Donald Trump, to exterminate the 2 guys that were left. Okay? Boom! Just killed them in the water. Just didn't leave nothing but a blood splatter in the middle of the water, man. That's okay. That is no mercy, right? Okay. No mercy. Boom. Right. James chapter 2 verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Okay? So, yeah, these motherfuckers, man, the what they've done, man, come on, man. Just destroying people out of nowhere. Right? Obadiah 1 and 10, because of the violence you did to your close relatives in Israel, you will be filled with shame and destroyed forever. Okay? And that's exactly what's going on, man. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is revealing these devils for the wickedness that they have done, man. Right? Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7, KJV. And he will destroy in this mountain. Now, mountain and hills are governments and vassal states in the biblical context. Okay? Mountains are major governments. You know, the other nations that like that for, let me give you an example for the BRICS, for BRICS nations. Okay, Russia and China are major governments, right? All the other governments that have joined BRICS are like hills. They're smaller governments and vassal states to the larger government. So they basically fall in line and do whatever the major government dictates them to do. Same thing with NATO, right? Alrighty, let's see. Where was I at? So let's go get, I think it's Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Right? Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Right? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given his secret to his servants the prophets, you know, and he given us the eye salve to pierce the veil of the mystery of iniquity and see right past through all of Esau's bullshit and apply biblical scriptures to it, so this way you'll understand what part of the latter days that you're in. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? Let's go get let's view all. Let me see. Salakia. Right? Hold on. I think it's in here. Yeah, all right.
Hello, YouTubers. Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a blockbuster story to talk to you about right here. And what this is actionable intel. And before I even get into this, I want to say thank you very much. You know, I don't look at my analytics very often, maybe once or twice a week, right? And for those of you that don't know what the analytics on YouTube is, it's like the behind the curtains look at how your YouTube channel is performing as far as subscribers, as far as week and a half to media. Well, I'm going to ask you right now to go not to recommend me that channel. Why? Because I really like to talk too much about things that video and enter to win 5 ounces of silver, ladies. So for you count on the US dollar.
Here, this is my point I was trying to get, right? Let me read that. All right. Europe, U.S. debt sell-off. European governments are quietly debating on extraordinary economic countermeasure as fears grow that U.S. President Donald Trump may strike a deal with Russia that sidelines Ukraine and threatens continental security. According to internal assessments shared within Europe, officials are considering a drastic response, dumping vast holdings of U.S. government debt to destabilize the American economy if Washington abandons its commitment to Ukraine. So this ideology of America first is not working because everybody in the world sees that America is putting those Israeli converts first. and doing exactly what the Israeli converts are telling them what to fucking do. Okay? Donald Trump is simply a fucking puppet. He's a hand puppet. He does what he's told. Okay? Pete Hegseth is another. He's like Kermit the Frog. He's got hands in his back, running his mouth. Okay? You know, that motherfucker's is a staunch ex-alcoholic. You know, he's making all the wrong decisions, and he's still got a drink in his mouth. Probably smell like the goddamn brewer every time you stand in front of him. Okay? But yeah, they're talking about crashing deliberately to destabilize the American economy. This is deliberate, man. This is what the European nations are talking about doing. That's what the other video was talking about. Okay? Let's go back up here to boom.
By broad political majorities.
Okay, once again, fair use. This video is for educational purposes, commentary, and news reporting only. There's no monetary gain to be made from this video. That was not the intention.
Worry you that an American security strategy is based on viewing Europe as a security threat because of migration, and that therefore one should support the forces that want to crack down on it? That is to say that one should support the Sweden Democrats? Doesn't that worry you?
That this is a completely current and up-to-date analysis of what is currently unfolding in Europe at this moment right now. I think we can clearly see that this phenomenon is evident both in Denmark and in Sweden. There is a very broad and strong consensus around the essential need for orderly migration policies, specifically to significantly reduce asylum immigration in order to effectively manage the complex process of integration, to actively break down segregation, and to comprehensively address the serious issue of organized crime that is partly and unfortunately connected to a failed integration. So I think...
Okay, so basically, these Edomite devils are afraid, okay, that the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to fulfill his purpose in them. Okay, well, there's nothing to really be afraid of. You know, I mean, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is doing this deliberately. Okay? Obadiah chapter 49 verse 10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Salakia. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. Right? For their widows will not weep, right? Right? For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, behold, though they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Right? For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. Okay? All right? This is the reason why they're scared. Jeremiah 49 and 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And, you know, as far as this civilizational erasure by the so-called migrants that are flooding the European nations right now, okay, they can still have children. They can still spread their seed. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, cannot. They've got the weakest seed on the face of the earth and getting weaker by the day. That's the reason why they're trying to separate themselves from the rest of the heathen nations, so this way they can continue to hold the stronghold, keep of their so-called white hegemony, okay, their white privilege, white supremacy, and keep the so-called Caucasians above everyone else, okay, and they're afraid that they're going to lose that handhold, that foothold of governing and controlling the peoples and heathen nations of the world, because these migrations are getting out of control. They're coming over there, you know, getting with the women. The women are busting off on these chicks. These chicks are getting pregnant. Okay, they're getting babies. Okay, and that leads to you know, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, his bloodline is falling off and dying in the corner, and everybody else is going to overtake them. That's the reason why Bill Gates is coming up with all of these wicked plans of their Depop program, right? To depop as many people as they can off the face of the earth. Okay, and he directly initiated these programs in the earth in order to make people sick to where they can't recover. To compromise their immune systems as much as possible. I mean, the moves that they're making, only the devil would make these type of moves, and this goes to prove that Esau Edom is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, was it Jeremiah chapter 28? Oh no, not 28. Okay, it is 29, right? Jeremiah 29. Salakia. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Right? And that expected end is for the Israelites. That the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua would bring them back into the fold. Okay? Well, they would be able to call upon the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and he would return unto them. Right? Let's go get okay, Salakia. Then shall you call upon me, and you shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. This is what the elect is down here in these last days. Like it says in Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16, right? Then they that feared the Lord spoke often one unto another. And how we do that is as we we go into each other's videos, live streams, or whatever have you, and individuals, we agree with one another spiritually by putting up biblical scriptures, okay, and we have commentary towards one another on a daily basis, okay. Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord and that thought upon his name. Okay, so the only people that the Most High is concerned about saving, okay, are his people, like I said before. Okay. Jeremiah 29, verse 13. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. Right? Because ye have said, the Lord hath raised us up prophets in Babylon. Okay? Right? So, that's basically what's going on, man. The Most High has raised up the prophets here in these last days, okay, to chant down and bring down the walls of Esau Edom, okay, to put biblical prophecies to secular history as it's unfolding, okay, to tell you what time you're in. You are at the last few minutes before the closing of the doors of mercy from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's exactly where you're at. And if you do not know the name of the Most High, if you do not know the name of his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, you will be left here and melted. Okay? Like it says in Ezekiel chapter 22, verses 18 through 24. Okay? That is a position you do not want to be here, because the elements of the periodic table shall melt with fervent heat. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. That fervent heat to be left here and melted, okay, that's way too hot, man. The stones of emptiness will be here. America is going to be destroyed completely and split into 3 separate parts, man. Revelation chapter 16, okay, because the nuclear missiles, the ICBM thermonuclear missiles that are going to come here, okay, right, are going to be destroyed, man. The ICBM thermonuclear missiles that are going to come here, they're going to destroy America and bust it off into 3 separate parts. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since there were men upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. Revelation 16 and 18. Verse 19, and my point. And the great city is America, Babylon the Great, because it's a giant city from sea to shining sea. Okay? It's a big city. Okay? And the great city was divided into 3 parts, because you have Route 66 that goes all the way from fucking New York State all the way to California. On one highway, straight through. Come on, man. Okay? And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Okay? This is during the destruction of World War III's thermonuclear destruction. Okay? And great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Okay, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Okay, and that plague and hail, okay, is these ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, let me go over here to 2nd Ezra chapter 16, right? Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. What bow and arrow do you know that can be shot from one end of the earth to the other? This ain't the Wonder Woman movie where Wonder Woman's mama shoot a goddamn arrow and land over in New York City some goddamn or Philadelphia where. No, that ain't how this works, man. This ain't no movie. Okay? The arrows that are shot from the archers are Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations together as a whole. Okay? Okay, their bow are these thermonuclear silos in which the missiles sit underground. The arrows themselves are the sword of the Lord's indignation that's going to be bathed in heaven. Okay, and when the windows in the heavens are open, they'll go up into heaven, up into a low Earth orbit, and then when the Earth is in position, those thermonuclear missiles are going to fall upon those nations. That's where it says in Revelation chapter 16 that all the nations of the earth, all the cities of the nations fell. Okay, so all of these nations are going to get it. Okay. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay? Let me go back over here to Revelation. Where was that at? I just had it. Revelation 17, right? Verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? And the great whore that sitteth upon many waters is American hegemony, where they have a military base and a U.S. consulate sitting upon every continent and every nation on the face of the earth. And in front of all of these continents and nations, there's a giant body of water, whether it's Pacific or Atlantic or a sea, Red Sea, Black Sea, whatever. Okay? But in all of these nations, there's a U.S. consulate, there's a military base there. Now, what the videos are saying is that they refuse to do business with the Trump administration. They refuse to do business with any of them from America, cutting them off and all of their money, all of their monetary compensation. All of the other nations are selling off all the U.S. debt, which gives the United States petrodollar the strength it has, which is failing every single day. Okay? It's like the power of the U.S. dollar has cancer, stage 5, and they're about to go full-blown AIDS, autoimmune deficiency, okay? And that the petrodollar is about to go the way of the dodo. So All of the other nations are complicit with America at keeping down and oppressing the children of Israel and the children of Judah here in America, Babylon the Great. That's what me personally, and I speak as a man, I think this is all this shit is just a bunch of fluff in order to destroy the Israelites that are waking up, being awakened here by the Holy Spirit, because the Most High is pouring out His Spirit upon His people, and they're prophesying, and they're having dreams, and putting it all on different platforms of social media. And it's gotten back into the gates of the nobles of these Edomite Caucasians, and they're scared to fucking death. Okay? And they're making moves with, running along headlong, like it says in Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And their enterprise is their new world order, right? Their newfangled order. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. And they're fumbling around and fucking around and finding out, basically. Okay? Salakia, I apologize about that. They meet with darkness in the daytime, right? They have these. They're meeting in darkness during the daytime. They just showed you that that they bring about a dark and evil time upon the face of the earth. Okay. They're bringing a financial instability and all of this shit, and they're doing it deliberately and on purpose. We just read that. Okay. They're bringing financial calamity upon the Western hegemony and their monetary system. That's evil. They're spreading pestilence. Okay, and the rumors of war are spreading every day. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can get that. Hold on. War and rumors of war. Come on. Boom. War and rumors. Okay. Rumors. Oh man, I misspelled it. Rumors of war. Okay, that's been misspelled. Okay. Nope, that's been misspelled. Man, come on, man. Nope. Okay. War and... That's what I'll do. Salakia. Okay. Salakia. Where was I at? Okay. Because it won't, because I don't know if I'm spelling it correctly on rumor. Alrighty, hold on, man. Well, damn, I can't remember where it's at. War and rumors of war. War and rumor of war. Damn, man. It just won't let it won't let me spell it correctly. It won't let me do it, man. I don't know. Anyway, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go over here to Jeremiah chapter 51. Where's that? Jeremiah chapter 51. Right, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Right? That's that thermonuclear destruction, that thermonuclear cloud that comes up out of, like it says in Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from off the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. Okay? And I can show you what a thermonuclear cloud looks like. Let me see. So this way you get an idea of what the Bible is trying to say. Where's all of those? Okay, hold on. Where's it at? I had a whole bunch of pictures of thermonuclear destruction. Whole bunch of them. There's one. Okay, yeah. These are the plagues. Okay, that are going to come and pelt the planet, like it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verses 13 through 16. Okay, in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 4, Revelation chapter 6. Okay, right, which is rolled together like a scroll that is rolled together, right? Is that another one? Well, the wrong way. There's a good one. Boom. That's in the ocean. They're talking about Russia's got a thermonuclear weapon that's going to explode over the ocean and create a tsunami. It's called a tsunami bomb that Russia has developed, and it can create a tsunami that will wipe out the East Coast or the West Coast, depending on where he wants to destroy it. And then he wants to destroy America from within by using the Satan II missile that Russia has got, and Vladimir Putin, which is Gog and Magog, right? He's the leader of Magog. Magog is the land, and Gog is the leader, okay? And use the Satan II missile, which is pretty much an electromagnetic pulse device that was designed to wipe out all electronics here in America. So them being a part of the New World Order ain't going to come to pass, okay? Because they want to still try to keep their white privilege and their white supremacist hegemony and keep their foothold and world-dominated power. But like it says before in Revelation chapter 17, what was that? Revelation 17 ain't gonna happen, right? Revelation 17 verse 2, and with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? And the wine of her fornication is the belief system where they could do as thou wilt, feminism, LBGTQ coming out of the fucking closet, okay? All of these different philosophies that America allows to be pushed onto the other heathen nations, they actually see the damage that it's done to their congregations of the peoples of their nations, of their different nations, okay? And how it's harming the government, how it's harming how the tradition of how these nations were put together, how they were raised, right? Right? Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? And the scarlet-covered beast, if I can show you what the scarlet-covered beast is. I had it in here. I know it's in here. Because I put it out on the street corner with me every week when I go out to preach. Right? Oh, wow. Where did they come from? Calendar years, the U.S. has been at war since 1776. Look at that. War years, peacetime years. What the hell, man? Okay? And they're talking about they're going back to war again, some more, to blow some more shit up. They want to go to war with Venezuela. I'm like, man, come on, man. You motherfuckers are done. Y'all just might as well just go and stick the fork in you, because the Most High done had enough of you. Okay, where is that picture, man? I know it's in here. About so I can show you what the whore of Babylon would look like. The woman riding upon the scarlet-colored beast is the picture that I'm looking for. I think I went the wrong way to start with, but and I apologize. Just bear with me right quick so I can find this picture for you. Boom, there it is. I knew I'd seen it. Boom. All right. This is a picture of the woman that rideth upon the scarlet-covered beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? Alrighty. Revelation 17:1. See? The great whore, America. Full of names of blasphemy. Germania Major. Germania Minor, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, the British, and the Greek. All of these are NATO nations or European nations. These European nations, are all NATO. And the reason why they're red is because, like it says in Genesis chapter 25, verse 22 and 23, that Esau, Edom came out red all over like an hairy garment. And thus his name was called Edom, or Esau, right? Which means wasted away as he in the Lashawan Kodash language. Isashua, which means wasted away of he. That he would have been akin to what we call today a person that has an extreme case of vitiligo. He doesn't have any melanin in his skin. A very extreme case of vitiligo. The same curse that was put on Cain for the destruction for unaliving his brother Abel, passed on through the reincarnation through Jacob and Esau. Jacob is Abel, and Esau is Cain. The curse is still there, because at the time that Cain was on the face of the earth and got that curse upon him, where the Most High put a mark upon him, he was the only person on the earth that had the case of vitiligo. Everybody else was dark skinned. He was the only one that had no melanin. That's how you would know you were to stay away from him, because the Most High poured his spirit out upon all of the nations of the world while they were asleep, and told them in the spirit to stay away from this man when you see him. So he'd go off into a bar looking for a drink, all covered up, and then he'd reach out and with his hand and get a drink, and people would look at his hands like, it's him, run! That's how it was, man. But I speak as a man, like I said before. Anyway, but this is the whore in Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. Right? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, and having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Now, we're going to skip on down here to verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So NATO is going to give their strength unto Gog and Magog. They're all going to side against America and against those Israeli converts, those liars and imposters. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Right? And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, or where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. See, there are different nations and people that speak different languages. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and shall burn her with fire. For the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. There it is, big as shit. Alrighty. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of this video. I was going to put Ezekiel chapter 3. Well, I guess I could do that right quick, and then I'm going to close it out. Ezekiel chapter 28, right? Verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, and I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, and though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Right? Verse 4. Ezekiel 28 and 4. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver in thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, right? Human trafficking, slaves, and souls of men. Remember Revelation chapter 18? Because of thy traffic thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit. Thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the sea. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man and no God, and in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? So, these devils, they're doing it, man. They're going to bring about the destruction of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They sure finna do it. Check this out.
Its militarized economy.
This summer showed us that there is simply no room or no time for nostalgia. Battle lines for a new world order based on power are being drawn right now. So yes, Europe must fight for its place in the world, in which many major powers are either ambivalent or openly hostile to Europe. A world of imperial ambitions and imperial wars. A world in which dependencies are ruthlessly weaponized. And it is for all these reasons that a new Europe must emerge. And finally, it takes resilience. As technology evolves, we need to build up societal immunity around information manipulation. Because research has shown that pre-bunking is much more successful than debunking.
Okay, which goes into Amos, right? Chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So you're going to be running into a bunch of false prophets, telling you lies and innuendo, telling you that that destruction is not coming, like it says in Jeremiah chapter Jeremiah chapter 23, saying that is it 23? Hold on, let me see. Let's go to Isaiah chapter. Yeah. Salakia. I think that's it. Yeah, these false prophets. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are they out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way, though strong drink. And through strong drink, they err in vision, and they stumble in judgment. Okay? So that's what you're going to run into as far as apostles and prophets. You're going to have IUIC, ISUPK out there talking shit out of the side of their neck, talking about judgment is not coming. Okay? Which we all know is a lie. Yeah, it's coming. Ain't nothing can be done about that. Right? Right? Isaiah 24 and 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. The city is left in desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. And that's civil war. That's about to happen here pretty soon here in America. Because when they push this digital ID, people are going to lose it. Okay? U.S. petrodollar don't mean nothing. We can't make no money. You see? But anyway, all praises to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.